Humans are weird. Let's work it out. Bullwhip. The fact that there were 2 wings worth of messages waiting for him in his message queue when the Silverwing finally re-entered the range of the broadcast antenna was hardly surprising. Five Trills mused as he ran a wing hook tiredly over his sensory horns. Their exploratory flight had been out for nearly a local day past their stated return time, and on a planet that was only barely rated as safe, and then only with the obliging presence of the humans to offer advice and protection. The idea that they had been messily devoured by some random plant was a worryingly likely suspicion. The fact that they had been sent to investigate some cool carnivorous plants by one of the humans' suggestion made it more so. However, the humans had said that the plant seemed harmless for even a creature of the wing's size, and despite the little incident with the mother plant, it had turned out to be so, for the most part. Five Trills shifted his talons uneasily in the soothing wraps the medic had somehow fabricated from their field supplies. Being trapped in a non-sentient, let alone non-sapient living organism that was trying to eat you in the slowest way imaginable, while countless insects died around you, was a rather unpleasant way to spend the greater part of a day, but he had eventually managed to claw his way up the slippery slides of the digestive chamber, and he had even managed to dry off his wings and fly back to the Silverwing under his own power. The poor fool who had successfully tried to eat his way out through the side had needed to be lifted aboard and was now quietly retching into the waste disposal unit, though he had admitted that the inner flesh of the plant was pretty tasty. "Nearly home," 8-Click said from where he was slumped in the co-pilot's hammock. Five Trills gave a grunt of affirmation. "Too bad human friend Esteban couldn't have come with us," 8-Clicks went on, his voice reanimating as they neared their destination. He had been nearly comatose with exasperation by the time he had climbed into the Silverwing. "He could have rescued us all in a flight of wing beats, and prevented any damage to the plant as well. He is a little hard to fit into the Silverwings," Five Trills pointed out in a dry tone. "Still," 8-Clicks went on as he made another attempt to groom the bare patches where his back fur used to be, "I just feel safer with a human around, you know." The sentence ended abruptly as the alarms on the Silverwing started clicking frantically, moments before a sonic shockwave rippled over its sensorless surface, causing the craft to shudder. "What?" The suddenly perfectly alert 8-Clicks stared to demand when a second shockwave hit them. "Was?" And he rather boldly kept trying. A third shockwave triggered the self-defense protocols on the Silverwing, and it dove for the ground. In a moment it had pressed its underbelly to the foliage of the ground cover, giving them a fine view of the soft, ear-shaped leaves still trembling from the wind of their landing. "That!" the determined 8-Clicks finally got out. "Silverwing, why have you deviated from your landing instructions?" The curt voice of the aircraft controller suddenly piped up from the comms unit. "We were knocked out of the sky by some sort of sonic wave!" 8-Click snapped. "3 of them!" "Injuries?" the air traffic controller asked quickly. There was a brief murmur of negatives from the back of the Silverwing, and Five Trill raised a wing for silence. "We are uninjured and undamaged," Five Trill said. "The force of the sonic blast triggered the emergency landing protocols in our Silverwing. It does not look like they had power enough to actually damage us, but before I take us airborne again, I would like to know what caused it." "That will be tricky," the air traffic controller said after a moment. "We are reading the disturbance, but despite its intensity, it is difficult to get—" "Human friend Esteban," Five Trills suddenly cut in. "Oh, don't worry," the air traffic controller said with a click of amusement. "We will certainly send the resident human after whatever the threat—" "No!" Five Trills snapped. "Assume he is the cause and use his location to compare to your data." There was a moment of sudden silence, and then the voice on the other end heaved a tired sigh. "Your analysis is correct." Another set of 3 sonic waves swept over them, and the air traffic controller waited for them to pass. "He requested clearance to test the function of a tool he has been making from the skin of that predator he killed on the other continent." 3 more sonic waves, faster now. "His justification was desire to participate in his ancestral culture through the construction of and practice with the tool." 6 sonic waves coursed over them in rapid succession. "There is in fact a note about how the tool uses sound waves to direct the course of large, dangerous herbivores." Now 9 sonic waves, with increasing power, ripped over them. "Can you tell him to stop?" demanded 5 trills. "I have triggered the visual alert in the training field," the air traffic controller assured them. 3 more sonic waves whipped past before the sound stopped. "Human friend Esteban is coiling up the tool and signals he is returning to the base proper," the now cheerful voice announced. "Coiling?" 5 trills demanded. "What is this thing exactly?" "He called it a bullwhip," the air traffic controller announced. "Now, I need to sign off. It should be safe for you to proceed to base." 5 trills set about convincing the Silverwing it was safe to take off, and shot 8 an annoyed glance. "Always safer with a human around," he demanded. 8 shrugged. "At least we are safe from large, directionless herbivores," he pointed out.
Humans are weird, let's work it out. Available on Indiegogo for the month of October 2022. Monty Python meets Star Trek in this 3rd book of human absurdity. This book joins its 2 siblings in a trilogy of human madness. You can find the first 2 books, author-signed first editions, at Indiegogo with book 3, or you can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are available to get your copies of the first 2 books. Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, book 3 in the series, available on Indiegogo, October 2022.